All right, best men, this one's for you. The groom has handed you the keys to plan the most important weekend of his single life. No pressure, right? Well, don't worry. We are going to break down the secret formula for absolute success.
So let's just cut to the chase. We've all been to a bachelor party that was, fine. It was okay. But what's that secret sauce that turns an okay weekend into one that gets talked about for the next decade?
Now, you might think it's all about dropping a ton of cash, but let me tell you, after looking at over 500 bachelor parties, that is just flat out wrong. We've seen $2,000 a person weekends turn into total flops, just logistical nightmares with a crew that never connects. And we've seen $600 a person parties become absolute Hall of Fame legends. It's not about the budget. Period.
Okay, so if money isn't the answer, then what is? It's time to look under the hood, Let's go beyond the budget and get into the hidden architecture, the real framework that makes a weekend truly epic.
And look, this isn't just guesswork or a few stories about lucky weekends. The framework we're about to unpack is grounded in hard data from over 500 real-world parties, and out of all that, a super clear, repeatable pattern for success just popped right out.
And that pattern, that blueprint, well, we call it the 7 elements of excellence. This is it. This is the secret formula for crafting a party that actually goes down in history.
Think of these 7 things as the foundation for the whole weekend. You've got stuff about the group dynamics, like unity and brotherhood. Then there's the pacing, flow and balance, and then the whole vibe of it all. But listen, while they're all really important, we're going to zero in on the 2 that are absolute game changers.
First up, unity. And guys, this one is simple, but it is absolutely non-negotiable. The rule is, the entire crew stays physically together, the whole time. No exceptions. Because that's where the magic happens. The inside jokes, the real bonding, that stuff doesn't happen when you're split up in 3 different Ubers and someone gets left behind at the bar.
The second huge pillar is flow. And flow is all about getting rid of the vibe killers. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Those awful 45-minute gaps where everyone's just standing around arguing about what to do next, or there's just dead air while you, the best man, are frantically trying to coordinate rides. Flow is the opposite of that. It's that smooth, seamless momentum that keeps the energy high all weekend long.
So you have your 2 core ingredients, unity and flow. Awesome. But where do you actually apply them? You need the right canvas, right? Well, let's talk about the perfect canvas for your masterpiece. Austin.
Just take a quick look at this. Vegas? You're going to spend a fortune. Nashville? It's gotten so crowded. Miami can be, a little pretentious and definitely pricey. But then you get to Austin. Man, it just hits that perfect sweet spot. The vibe is legendary and the value is real. It is hands down the ideal location to pull this formula off without having everyone go broke.
Okay, so theory's great and all, but let's see how this actually works in the real world. Let's break down the anatomy of a legend and see a Hall of Fame weekend in action.
So, let me introduce you to the Marcus crew. We're talking 15 guys. 15! Different ages, different interests. That's a logistical nightmare waiting to happen for any best man. But somehow, they pulled off a truly legendary weekend for just $720 a person. The question is, how on earth did they do it?
Well, their itinerary had a perfect story arc to it. They started smart. Friday was just the warm-up. A casual barbecue, some cool bars on Rainey Street, just building that energy without burning out. Then Saturday. Bam! The main event. Brewery tour, a big steak dinner, and then a full-on 6th Street takeover. And Sunday? The perfect ending. A legendary recovery brunch and a chill afternoon at Barton Springs. See? That is what we mean by balance.
But hey, don't just take my word for it. Here's what the best man Jake had to say. He said, and I quote, "I've been to 8 bachelor parties. This was the best." And here's the kicker. Listen to why he said it was the best. Because all 15 of us stayed together all weekend, nobody stressed about logistics. Boom. There they are again. Unity and flow. The formula works.
So if unity and flow are the keys, what unlocks them? Well, this brings us to what I call the golden rule of logistics, the single factor that makes everything else possible. On one side, you've got the problem with almost every mediocre weekend. The best man turns into a stressed-out coordinator juggling Ubers while the crew gets separated. But on the other side, you see the elegant solution, a single, professional party bus for the entire group. The difference in experience is just night and day.
It all boils down to this. 1.
Single decision.
I'm telling you, after analyzing all these parties, this is it. The single biggest differentiator between a good party and a legendary one is solving the transportation problem once for the entire weekend. This is the keystone. It is what enables the unity and flow that creates all those legendary stories.
Okay, so how do you take this blueprint and actually turn it into your reality? How do you plan your own legendary send-off for the groom?
It really just comes down to 3 things. First, use the framework. Build your plan around those 7 elements, but really focus on unity and flow. Second, pick the right canvas. Go somewhere like Austin that gives you the best bang for your buck. And most importantly, nail that golden rule. Solve your logistics up front.
So as the best man, the planner, the person in charge, the groom is counting on you. The question isn't just if you'll plan a party. The question is, how are you going to use this formula to make it truly legendary?